Lyles trying to find something. He stretches away. It is a global title again for Noah Lyles. 4 in a row.
Noah Lyles just won his 4th straight world championship in the 200 meters. He's the fastest man alive right now. But guess what he's thinking about? When he's going to quit running. Yeah, the guy who just made history is already planning his exit. And what he said is making everyone realize the end is closer than we think. So Noah just finished racing at the World Championships in Tokyo in September 2025. He won the 200 meters again. That's 4 wins in a row at the World Championships. Everything looked perfect. He's on top, he's winning. But then he said something nobody expected. And it's really simple. Noah said he'll know it's time to stop when he goes to a World Championships and doesn't win any medals. Not because he got hurt, but because he just wasn't fast enough anymore. He said,
"When I leave a World Championships with 0 medals, and it wasn't because of injury or something like that. When I leave because of 0 medals, or I fail to make a team for a reason of I just wasn't the top dog or I wasn't good enough to make the team, I'm like, all right, it's time. I think next year it's time for the swan song, and it's time to let the next generation have it."
Most athletes keep going until someone forces them to stop. But Noah is saying he'll walk away on his own when he can't win anymore. He's not going to hang around too long. He already has his final year planned out. Noah wants to race in 3 countries he's never been to. He wants to check things off his bucket list. He'll do some races close to home. And his very last race, he wants it at his own track meet where he can do whatever he wants. When he talked about that final race, he laughed. You could tell he was imagining it already. That's Noah. He thinks ahead about everything. Now let's talk about when this is happening. Noah said his final year will be between 2028 and 2032. He's going to race at the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. He'll be 31 years old then, but he's not going to the Olympics in Brisbane in 2032. That's when he'd be 35. He's saying no to that one. Someone asked if he'd run until he was 45. Noah laughed and said no way. He said ages 34 to 35 are his final years. After that, he's done. Last year, at the Paris Olympics in 2024, Noah realized something. He was turning 27 years old, and he told himself, I'm on the other half of the hill. Paris was his halfway point. Everything now is the second half of his career. Noah thinks about his age a lot. He wants to make the most of every year, every month, every week, and every day he has left. He said if he does that, he'll never have regrets. That's smart. Noah isn't scared of getting older. He's just trying to use his time well. And honestly, he needs to think that way, because younger runners are coming up fast. At the World Championships in Tokyo, Noah was the second oldest person in the 200-meter final. Only one guy was older. Everyone else was way younger. Oblique Seville from Jamaica won the 100 meters. He's 24. Kishane Thompson got silver in the 100. He's also 24. Bryan Levell got bronze behind Noah in the 200. He's only 21. And Letsile Tebogo, who won Olympic gold in the 200 last year, is just 22. These guys are young, and they're really good. But wait, there's a 7-year-old kid from Australia named Gout Gout. He raced at the World Championships in Tokyo. He was the youngest person ever in the 200 meters at a World Championships. He didn't make the final, but everyone is talking about him. Noah knows Gout because they're both with Adidas, and Noah said something smart about him. He said Gout is young and talented, but Noah also said many talented people never make it to the top. Now let's talk about why Noah thinks he can keep running into his mid-30 seconds. Most sprinters don't last that long. Usain Bolt quit when he was 31. That's the same age Noah will be at the LA Olympics. So why is Noah different? After the Paris Olympics last year, Noah gave an interview. He said, LA 2028 is not promised, so take it in now. People thought maybe he was hinting at quitting soon, but then he cleared it up. Noah said he's definitely racing in LA. He even said he plans to race in Brisbane in 2032, but then he realized he'd be 35 years old. You could tell he was doing the math in his head. But Noah has something special. He found a great way to take care of his body early in his career. He said because of that, he believes he'll last longer than other sprinters. His coach agrees. Noah's coach is Lance Brahman. Lance thinks Noah is just starting his best years right now. That might sound crazy because Noah is already 28. But Lance says Noah will be really good through the LA Olympics. And there's proof Noah's body is tough. At the Paris Olympics, Noah won gold in the 100 meters. That race was super close. He beat Kishane Thompson by only 0.005 seconds. That's basically nothing. But the crazy part was the 200 meters. Noah got bronze, which is still good, but not what he wanted. Noah was really sick. He had COVID-19 for the second time. He He also has asthma, and that night he had a fever of 102 degrees. Noah ran with a 102-degree fever and still got bronze. His coach said getting a bronze medal with that fever wasn't too bad. That's not just not bad, that's amazing. Most people can't leave their bed with that kind of fever. So yeah, Noah knows how to take care of himself. Every year, Noah sets new goals. In 2023, he wanted to win the 100 meters at the World Championships. He did it. In 2024, he wanted his first Olympic gold. He got it. So what about 2025? Noah wants to do something nobody has done before. He wants to go from world champion to Olympic champion and back to world champion in the 100 meters. Nobody has done that. And in the 200 meters, he wants to win his 4th straight world title. Nobody has done that either. Noah always asks himself, what's next? He doesn't celebrate for too long. He's always looking forward. But this year had a problem. Noah got hurt early in 2025. He had a tendon injury. It delayed his season start until July. That's really late. Most runners start racing in spring, so Noah had to change his plans. He wanted world records this year. But after getting hurt, he just focused on winning. He said it's all about being ready to win the world championships. He's not worried about super fast times. He just wants to win. And guess what? He still made history. Noah became the first track athlete ever to win 6 Diamond League titles. So even in a tough year, he's breaking records. But Noah isn't just thinking about himself. He's thinking about track and field as a whole sport. Noah said he wants to show people how far they can go. Medals are nice, but they should just be the first step. After medals, you should do things outside the sport. Then you change yourself and do new things. Noah really believes this. He said there are so many stories in track and field. He wants to bring attention to the sport so those stories get told. He wants young athletes to know they can do great things both on and off the track. That's what makes Noah different. He's never seen himself as just a runner. He says he has special ability and wants to use it fully. Part of that is making the sport fun to watch.
Like he owns the building, and he will leave like he owns the building.
Perspective.
Tyreek could never.
In 2025, the battle for speed took a wild turn. Olympic champion Noah Lyles didn't need a race to silence his rival, just one line. Tyreek Hill, the NFL's cheetah, had been poking at him for months, but when Lyles fired back, the crowd gasped and the internet lit up. It was fast, sharp, and left everyone wondering how Hill would ever answer. The back and forth began in late 2024 after Lyles' historic 100-meter gold medal at the Paris Olympics, where he clocked a personal best of 9.78 seconds. That made him the official world's fastest man. Tyreek Hill, known as the NFL's cheetah, wasn't about to let that title go unchallenged. With his reputation for blazing speed on the football field, he teased a showdown. By early 2025, the rivalry had spilled into interviews and social media. In February, Lyles won the 60-meter final at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. After crossing the finish line, he pulled out a handwritten sign that read, "Tyreek could never." It was a direct jab at Hill, who wasn't competing that day but had been chirping on social media. Hill quickly responded in kind. A few months later, after winning a 100-meter dash at a California track meet with a time of 10.15 seconds, he held up his own sign, "Noah could never." For fans, this wasn't just a joke anymore, it was turning into a saga.
Oh, let's go viral, fellas. Let's have fun doing it.
Everyday hustle like we. Everyday hustle like we. Chopping the chicken just for the verse. I get in that kitchen, I could go to work. I go berserk. Go out and get it, secure the city, can't sit on the top.
The story came close to a resolution in the summer of 2025. Lyles and Hill had agreed to race in June, with Times Square in New York floated as the stage. They even told People magazine that the race would likely be set between 40 yards to favor Hill's football explosiveness and 100 meters, Lyles' domain. But just as hype peaked, the showdown was cancelled. During a panel at Sport Beach in Cannes, France, Lyles admitted, "We were very deep into creating the event. In fact, it was supposed to happen this weekend. Unfortunately, there were some things, complications, personal reasons that it just didn't come to pass." Fans were crushed, but Hill saw an opening. Instead of racing Lyles, he lined up against Lyles' brother Josephus at another meet, beating him and joking, "Sent his lil bro instead, lol." Then came the memes. Hill shared the classic Homer Simpson disappearing into the bushes gif, mocking Lyles for backing out. Hill has never been shy about smack talk. On Johnny Manziel's Glory Days podcast, he even gave Noah Lyles a Madden-style rating.
That man soft as hell. He's soft, bro, so I got to give bro like a 36.
Respectable.
And the only reason he got 36 is because his speed going to be a 99.
It was classic Tyreek, roasting while also giving grudging respect. He admitted,
I got a ton of respect for Noah Lyles. Ton of respect. But as far as like me like competing against him or whatever, I fucking hate the dude, bro.
That mixture of respect and rivalry fueled the drama further. Meanwhile, Hill kept training and posting results. At the ATX Sprint Classic, he ran a personal best of 10.1 seconds at 31 years old, a staggering achievement for someone who spends most of his career dodging tacklers instead of running in spikes. Then came the moment that lit the internet on fire. On the Speakeasy TLK show, Lyles was asked again about Tyreek Hill. His response was razor sharp. 5 meters on grass, maybe. After that, it's cooked. He can get to a slant depth, and then after that, it's over. In other words, Hill might get an edge in the first few strides, but beyond that, he has no chance against a world-class sprinter. Lyles boiled the entire debate into a single cutting line. The room laughed. The internet clipped it. Fans ran with it. Memes exploded overnight. The jab worked because it was both playful and factual. Sprinting isn't about just one explosive step. It's about sustaining speed over distance. And Noah Lyles had the Olympic medal to prove it. What makes this rivalry unique isn't just the athleticism, it's the theater. Both athletes know how to play to the crowd. From Lyles's Tyreek could never sign in Boston to Hill's clapback sign in California, they've turned sprint races into performance art. Every post, every jab, every canceled event adds another layer of suspense, and the fans are hooked. Track and field purists argue that Lyles's times put him in another universe of speed. NFL loyalists swear that Hill's first 40 yards are unlike anything seen in sports. The truth? Both are right in their own way. Hill's 40-yard dash times are legendary in football circles. But beyond that, physics and physiology favor the trained sprinter. Why does Noah Lyles have the edge? It comes down to mechanics and specialization. Tyreek Hill's explosiveness makes him terrifying in the NFL. His 10.1-second 100-meter dash shows he's one of the fastest men ever to put on football pads. But sprinting 100 meters at world-class speed requires years of technical refinement, block starts, drive phases, maximum velocity, and endurance over the last 20 meters. Lyles has dedicated his entire life to that. Lyles's Olympic-winning 9.78 seconds is not just faster than Hill, it's in a different category. At that level, hundredths of a second separate champions from silver medalists. For comparison, Hill's personal best would have placed him outside the finals at most international meets. But that's what makes the rivalry fun. Fans love the what if. What if Tyreek trained full-time in track? What if Noah lined up in cleats on grass? Those cross-sport hypotheticals fuel endless debates. Despite the trash talk, there's respect between the two. Hill has admitted admiration for Lyles's achievements, calling him a dude I respect but love to compete against. Lyles has also acknowledged Hill's explosiveness and entertainment value. Both understand that the rivalry brings eyeballs to track and to football. And that might be the bigger story, how two athletes from different worlds are helping keep the conversation about speed alive. Track rarely gets mainstream headlines outside the Olympics, but thanks to Hill, Lyles has had his name trending multiple times in 2025. Hill, meanwhile, gets to test his speed narrative outside the NFL bubble. At its heart, this rivalry isn't about settling who's faster. It's about storytelling. Fans love the tension, the humor, the mix of sports worlds. It's about an NFL star stepping outside his lane and challenging an Olympic champion. It's about an Olympic champion using wit and confidence to defend his crown. When Noah Lyles said Hill could only beat him in the first 5 meters, he didn't just dismiss his rival, he gave us a soundbite that perfectly captured the entire feud. Hill's explosiveness versus Lyles's sustained speed. Football bursts versus Olympic endurance. Two different expressions of human speed colliding. And fans can't get enough. The rivalry between Noah Lyles and Tyreek Hill is one of the most entertaining storylines in sports right now. It has drama, humor, respect, and above all, speed. From canceled races to meme wars, both athletes know how to keep the spotlight. And with just one brutal comment, 5 meters on grass maybe, Noah Lyles reminded everyone why he's the fastest man in the world. Whether they ever race or not, their rivalry is already legendary. And in a world where sports often take themselves too seriously, sometimes all it takes is one comment to create magic.
Go with the first in the series of the 100 meters, and Adi Wally looking very strong again as they come through. And a superb running.
At just 15 years old, Divine Ehime has done the unthinkable. The British sprinting prodigy from Oxford has already rewritten the story of what's possible at his age, running faster than Usain Bolt and Noah Lyles did as teenagers. In a sport defined by legends, this young runner isn't waiting his turn. He's forcing the world to pay attention right now. When Divine Ihem ran 10.3 seconds in August 2024, the sprinting world took notice. It wasn't just fast for his age, it was a global statement. To put it in perspective, that time was nearly a full second faster than what Noah Lyles ran at the same age. Usain Bolt? His best at 14 was 10.57 seconds. Divine didn't just break records, he obliterated them. Divine Ihem's time also smashed the U15 world record previously held by Jamaica's Sachin Dennis, who had clocked 10.51.
Well, when I first saw it, I was in utter shock. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was jumping about, running around. I just felt so happy.
In just one race, Divine rewrote the history books. Even more astonishing, that run would have placed him third at the 2024 British Athletics Championships in the senior men's 100 meters event. The 10.3 mark even placed Divine among the top performances in European U18 history, trailing only Teddy Wilson and France's Jeff Arias. Born on the 1st of October 2009 in Radley, Oxfordshire, Divine Iheme has sprinting in his DNA. Both his parents, Innocent Iheme and Nkiruka Anu, were international sprinters for Nigeria. His mother, now his coach, was so convinced of his talent that she helped found the PWD Athletics Academy in Oxford. His mom recalls knowing he was special even before he was born. "When I was pregnant, he kept kicking," she told the BBC. "I knew when he was in my tummy." And she wasn't wrong. From primary school, Divine stood out, and by the time he was 13, he was already focusing on sprinting. His training ramped up under the guidance of his mother and Radley AC, where he built his explosive power and running technique. While his 100 meters run made headlines, Divine didn't stop there. In January 2025, he broke the 60 meters world record for 5-year-olds, twice in one day. First, he ran 6.72, then 6.71 seconds at the BFTTA Indoor Series in London. That shattered the previous record of 6.74 set by Jamie Samuels in 2003.
Oh, Divine.
With these runs, Divine moved into fourth on the UK's all-time U18 rankings for the 60 meters, just 0.02 seconds off Mark Lewis Francis's record of 6.69. Not bad for someone who had just turned 15. The 60 meters times also brought him closer to national age group records, highlighting how his power off the blocks is on par with top senior sprinters. Divine doesn't try to mimic the legends, he builds on their foundation. He's watched Bolt's 200 meters world record race more times than he can count, but his own running style? He calls it unique and natural. "I don't try to model it from anyone," he told Sky Sports. "I just try my best to slingshot off the bend in the 200 meters and keep going until the finish line." That mix of natural form and fearless execution is what sets him apart. According to coaches, his relaxed upper body and controlled cadence are rare in sprinters his age. Despite his record-breaking times, Divine remains grounded. When told he'd beaten Lyles' youth time, his reaction wasn't one of arrogance, but admiration. "Noah is a great athlete," he said. "He's given me a lot of confidence to break barriers as I go through my journey." Similarly, Divine has openly said how much Usain Bolt inspired him. Watching Bolt's legendary 200 meters race at the 2009 World Championships was what sparked his sprinting dream. Now, he's the one inspiring a new generation. Divine even cited Allyson Felix as a major influence, admiring her fluid stride and composure under pressure. Divine's story is also one of family. His parents gave up their own careers to support his. His mom, Nkiruka, spent 9 years in the British military before dedicating herself full-time to Divine's training. His father and grandfather were athletes. His 2 older brothers, Praise and Wisdom, are also deeply involved in sports. And yet, Divine says his biggest goal isn't medals. It's giving back. "I want to make sure that in the future, they can just sit back and relax while I can get them gifts, buy them a house," he told the BBC. The goal is to try and make them happy. Make them live a great life. He credits his family as the engine behind his work ethic. Divine became English schools champion in 2024 over 100 meters. He also won both the 100 meters and 200 meters sprint double at the English Athletics Indoor Age Group Championships that same year. By August 2025, he ran a British U18 best of 10.29 seconds in the 100 meters at Lee Valley, a European all-time best for 5-year-olds. He's not just fast, he's consistent. From 60 meters indoors to 200 meters outdoors, he's dominating every event he enters. The comparisons to Lyles and Bolt aren't hype, they're based on real numbers.